Oh, hey there. So today we're starting another project, and in this project we're going to add on a closet. Now this house has a backyard that's filled with this pool. Take a look. That makes it difficult to add on anywhere. But we're going to add on here. So we're going to make a little bit of a breezeway and then a pretty good sized closet over there. Not as big as my closet. I mean, my several closets. I'm kidding. Anyway, so we're going to do that. Now, to do that, we've got to pour concrete first, obviously. And so we have to have a footing in there. And Jared Boone is doing all this, and he is very smart about concrete. Tell him, Jared.
I'm very smart about concrete.
He's very smart about concrete. And other things too.
Maybe.
But here, let's walk this way a little bit. So we were talking to the homeowner, and he's like, I wish that somebody could teach my kids algebra and geometry in a way that makes sense. Because you guys use it, and in school they're like, we don't care, we'll never use this. We use it constantly, okay, kids? So pay attention. Show this to your kids. All right, so how do we get square on this thing? Because it matters. We come off of this wall right here, and we pulled a string, and the string was farther back, right? And we pull that across, and look, we come in until the string is in line, and then we put a stake in it, and we pull that string. Now this is not to the right height, but this is just to show us where to put our lines. So then from there, we measure off, and we're like, okay, we want to be 4.5 feet off this wall. We're assuming that this is square. We're going to be square to the house, no matter what. And then we put a string there. Then from that point, we have to like figure out how far in we're going to go, and we did some measurements. We figured that out. We got to make sure that we're square. Did you know that you can make a 3, 4, 5 triangle and figure out that things are square? How does that work? Let me show you. Let's say that at this intersection, you're like,
Hope it's square. Go ahead, sorry.
I forget you. How do we know if this is square? Well, I don't have a thing to show you, but if we went 4 feet this direction and made a mark, and then we went 3 feet this direction and made a mark, and then we went between the two marks, that would be 5 feet. That means that's square, okay? If it's not 5 feet, it's not square. Now, does it have to be feet? No, it can be anything that's divisible by 3, 4, and 5, right? So you could be like, oh, it's 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches. It's, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, whatever it may be. But as long as it's a 3, 4, 5 ratio, that's square. So that's good to know. You can also measure corner to corner and corner to corner. And if they're different, you're not square, right? I mean, Jared knows that. And then what do?
Then you have to move it around to get square, right?
Yeah, you adjust. Not that hard. It's not that big a deal. No. So then we measure it off this way. Then we're gonna build this up. We're gonna put a gable on it and make a breezeway in here. It's gonna be amazing. We're also gonna remodel the bathroom, but we're not showing you that right now. Jared, you got anything on your heart? What you thinking about?
Man, dirt. I was like, really?
Dirt. So it's weird that you said
basic.
Man. Yeah, you said man, and then you said dirt, which are really made out of the same thing.
That's true, man.
Yeah. Did you know that Adam means clay?
I didn't.
That's true. True story. So Adam, who was the first man, and God made him out of clay, means clay. And not only that, but also I've heard that you take the same components out of people, take all the water out of them, right? And it's kind of the same ratio as dirt. So there you go. Man is dirt. Which reminds me, Adam comes home to his wife, to Eve, right? And he's late. And she's like, where you been? You been seeing other people? He goes, babe, it's just me and you. There's no other girls. And then she's like, but she's not satisfied, because girls are never satisfied. So then they're laying there in bed or wherever they sleep, and she starts poking him in the ribs, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm counting your ribs. That's it. Oh, hey there. So today we have poured concrete. By we, I don't mean me. My hands aren't even really dirty. Jared did it. Yep. Look at those hands. They're so dirty and strong. Those are man hands, not like my hands. My hands look weak and uncalloused, like soft. Like all I do is moisturize all the time. That's what it looks like. All right, so concrete is a wonderful thing. It starts off as a liquid and ends up as a solid. It never turns to a gas, as far as I know. But I don't know a whole lot of things. Now, right here I see a flamingo. I want to see if I can get it over here.
Flamingo?
Yeah, flamingo.
Oh, there you go.
So, when my girlfriend told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, I had to put my foot down.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So I wanted to talk to this flamingo. Hey, buddy, quick question. Oh, wow. No, thank you, sir. It turns out he was using a lot of foul language.
Darn flamingo?
Because he's a foul. Foul language.
Foul?
It makes sense. Now, I can talk to birds, but only a certain type, and I don't know if they have the right dialect and stuff like that. So but I don't, sometimes foul language again. I'm sorry. So a lot of you guys, I think, have insomnia. And Jared, you know the cure for insomnia, right?
No, I don't.
Hard work.
Hard work?
Yeah, everybody's all, oh, I take melatonin, I take drugs and blah, 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 Ambien, all this stuff. That's bad for you. Hard work. It's good for you.
Okay.
Right? Do you have a hard time sleeping at night?
No, not really, no.
Not really. I do a lot of times, and here's why I think it is, because...
I take a sleep aid, though.
Look at you. I thought you did hard work.
I do hard work. I take the Z, the NyQuil Z.
No.
This stuff is awesome.
You're better
I
than
got
that.
stress.
No, you're better. You're stressed. What do you... Poor concrete. How stressful
Well,
is
you
that?
got to keep the jobs. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't know.
Anyway, so a lot of times I don't sleep very much, mostly because I work too much, but also because they say that if you can't sleep, it's because somebody else is dreaming about you. Oh, dear Lord, can you guys please, I need some rest. Just stop dreaming about me. Like, it's embarrassing for me how much sleep I lose because somebody, I don't know who, is just like, oh, and I'm like, it's nice that you're getting good rest, but I'd like to sleep too, so please stop, all right? It's not that hard. Not that hard. Good. Anyway, so this is how concrete works. Yeah. And then it'll be beautiful, and then what'll happen? We will... That'll probably take like a day on Monday or something like that. 28 minutes, whatever. Potato, tomato. All right, see you guys later. Bye. Oh, hey there. So hopefully you guys are doing something important today and not just sitting around on the couch like a bunch of bums. But, you know, we're working again because it's a day that ends in Y. As you can clearly tell, we poured concrete on Saturday. It's beautiful. And then we started framing 4 minutes ago. So we got these two walls up. Now, come closer. I want to show you something. We got to bring this wall in here, but wait a minute. It's this high, and how are we going to... come closer. Over here. Yeah, don't trip. We're just going to cut a line. So we're going to cut this out, and we're going to cut this out, and take this stuff out of the way, and then that way we'll have room for this over here. How amazing, right? Now, a couple things I've got on my heart are this. So Switzerland has traditionally been a neutral country, right? So they don't want to take either side. They don't, you're like, oh, well, they probably don't have an army. So I looked it up. They do have an army. 500,000 people in their army. I guess that's where the Swiss Army knife came from. Nobody ever thinks about that, though, do they? You never think about American Army knife. That's not a thing. Like, you know, this is a European Army knife, whatever, African Army knife. It's a Swiss Army knife. And you're like, but the Swiss, I'm so confused. Now, I don't know every good thing about living in Switzerland, but their flag is a big plus. All right, so one other thing I got to talk about is this. I see people, myself included, and from time to time, maybe you do a reality check on yourself, and there are things that you've picked up through life that maybe you keep repeating and keep doing, that maybe it's time to let them go, right? Like, maybe you got a bunch of jokes that you're like, oh, I don't want to let that go because I know it so I can repeat it to somebody, but maybe they're not the best jokes. I'm speaking from my own experience here. Or maybe you got some habits that are like, yeah, I've been doing this forever. Maybe it's time to let these bad parts of you die. Just like bury them, have a little funeral service or whatever, maybe a memorial. You show some videos, be like, this is the dumb stuff I did. And then bury it, or burn it, or whatever you got to do, and move on.
Party.
Huh?
And party.
And have a nice reception with some good cake and maybe a potluck or something like that. And then let the bad parts of you die, because it's time. All right, love you guys. Hey there. So, we cut this out of the roof and everything, soften out, and then we frame this a little bit up. And then we're going to deck it, which means we're going to put OSB on there, and that'll give it shear strength, and then we're going to build the roof. So that's what we're working on. Now, Judah, what you got on your heart?
I don't know. I want to go to the zoo.
You want to go to the zoo?
Yeah.
Judah, you're not allowed back at the zoo.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, do you know why?
Yeah.
Because Judah's got the heart of a lion, and he's no longer allowed at the Fort Worth Zoo. You shouldn't have taken that lion's heart. It's not nice.
I know.
He's having a hard time.
I just really wanted it.
Yeah, well, he's got a, what do you call it? They got a defibrillator?
Yeah. He also had a lot of courage.
Did he have a lot of courage?
So I feel like I just
I feel like I'm the Tin Man because I don't have a heart.
That's okay.
Ironically, though,
I saw what happened to your heart in the last video.
It was not pretty.
No.
Got toe up.
It's okay. We still love you.
Thanks. Oh. Stop it. Oh, hey there. Come on in. Let me show you what a lot of you guys deal with. It's a very large, roomy shower that you could feel very comfortable showering in. But what are we going to do? We're going to make it bigger. Because you see this bathtub? This useless, worthless bathtub that nobody ever takes a bath in because, let's be honest, it's the 21st century. We're going to take all this and make it into one ginormous shower with 2 shower heads and a bench and like a half glass wall and all kind of cool stuff. Then we're going to take all this tile out. We're going to put in new tile. It's going to be so fancy. We're going to put in a couple recessed lights, take out this toilet, put in another one. And now, all of a sudden, it's gonna make sense what we did here before. This was a window, but then come closer. Remember when we poured concrete the other day and then we started framing yesterday? Look what we framed up. Oh, how beautiful is that? That's just gorgeous. Now we still got to do some things, but how exciting is that? Now, Judah, I don't know. Have I told you that I've got a half sister?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
2 fathers?
No, shark attack. That's why she's a half sister. Oh, hey there. So we're just busting up some tile, and you know, I was thinking like I've been wanting to get a neck tattoo for a long time, and I didn't want to get like a sleeve, but I did want to get like a turtleneck. You know, and I was thought about having turtles on there, and then I thought about having it say like, you know, the Bible verse in Leviticus where it says, "Do not tattoo your bodies." But that got voted out. But then I thought, what if I tattoo on a neck beard? Okay, so that would just be like, I'm too lazy to grow a beard, so I'll just from here down just have a neck beard tattooed on, and then even if I do shave, it'll still look like I've got a neck beard, right? Now up here, still clean shaven, or I could have a beard, either way, but I just want to have a neck beard tattooed on here. No reason. Oh, this? I was wondering if you were going to notice that. Yeah, that's so embarrassing. So here's what happened. We were busting this tile out, and there was a vampire, and it jumped out, but I got the blood of Jesus, so I'm all good. Oh, hey there. So, as you can clearly tell, there used to be a shower right here, which felt a little tight and crowded. But now it feels like, you know, I got some room to stretch out. Me and some friends. So, shower head over here and a shower head over here, and we're gonna have just a big fat shower. I love it. I love doing stuff like this. And it's so delightful. I never hurt myself or anything like that. Now, maybe you're thinking, where should I go get dinner tonight? Or whatever meal it is that you're planning on eating besides breakfast, whenever you're watching this video. And the answer is Cici's at Little Road 20. Now, why is that? Number 8, they've got free refills on pizza. I don't know if you know how this works, but you pay once, and you go eat pizza, and then they're like super nice, and they say things like this: "You want something else?" You're like, "Yeah," and then they make it for you. Really cool. But then, not only that, but the owner's like super cool too, and he's all like, "Fight the man." I'm like, I fight the man. And he's like, "Me too." And so I'm like, "Fist bump, bro." And then I'm like, "Let me give you your business." So he's right when, okay, I've realized that there's like 5 or 17 of you or whatever that still hate me because of the COVID thing, but the rest of you have a brain. And so I just want to say that way back in the day when COVID was a thing, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to die from a freaking cold." Then they finally let people open up a restaurant, but it was like, you have to wear a mask and like eat with your mask on and stupid things like that. This owner was the first one to open his store up, and he's like, "We're not wearing masks and we're not wearing gloves." I'm like, I love you. He had a sign on his door, which is still there, which is like, "For the safety of our patrons and our staff, please remove all hoodies, masks, and bandanas." And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. He's like, because I don't want to get robbed. And if you can't see anything and you're wearing sunglasses and stuff, then you can rob me. And I'm like, I love it. So anyway, go to Cici's Little Road 20. Give the man your money, right? I mean, because that's what we do. Also this, nothing. I just, I was trying to bleed out some demons. Oh, hey there. Oh, this? Yeah, so my good friend David Canui, we've been friends for centuries now. He got me this shirt because, you know, he kind of knows where I stand. So this says, "I'm no expert on whatever this word is, but this is The Cure." And in case there are people that don't know, this is the band The Cure. So stop hating. Now, I was on my way here this morning, and some androgynous person, that means you can't tell if they're a boy or a girl, with a septum ring, it's like, "I think I know what your problem is in your love life." I'm like, "Is it because I'm fat and ugly?" And like, "Well, that too. But here's," you know, they did like this psychic reading or whatever, and they were like, "It turns out that Jupiter is in its 3rd tricycle, Uranus is rising, and you need a Capri Sun." I'm like, the Capri Sun thing I understand. So that's where we're at. So I forget where we left off yesterday, but we busted out a bunch of stuff, and today we're gonna make it pretty. So we got to get all this plumbing, and we're gonna reroute it, and we're gonna put a drain right here, and then we're gonna put a shower head here and shower head here, make a bench, make a curb, make a couple walls, and bust all this thin set mortar out of the way. So that should be so exciting, and hopefully by the end of the day that'll be done, and maybe other stuff, because it's a day that I'm gonna have a Capri Sun, and
Hopefully Jupiter's in its third tricycle, or whatever that means. Oh, hey there. So, a lot of people ask me, John, how do you stay so fit and healthy all the time? Let me tell you my secrets. Okay, first of all, here's my routine, and you gotta follow this to the T. Drink 3 gallons of water a day and eat a pine cone once a week. It's important. Don't boil it. It takes out all the nutrients, okay? Next, go to bed about 12 or 1, 2, 3, whatever. Wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't go back to bed, no matter what. You can lay there, but it's not gonna make any difference. Okay, 5 a.m., wake up, load your truck. Then you start off the day and you do 52,000 reps of 3 where you jackhammer the floor. Make sure that you give yourself some good blisters and tear your hands up real good, okay? So that's your first thing. Then take a 2-second rest. Then you do 13,000 reps of hammer whacks, okay? This will come in a lot of different things. In between, you have to do things like measure, cut, and think. Keep the thinking down low. Okay, so a lot of you guys right now, your cerebral level is about up in here. I'm gonna need you to bring that down significantly, okay? To get to my level so that you can be ripped like me, okay? Now, once you do that, you rest for about 14 seconds until you get in the truck. Then you gotta take all the stuff that you just loaded up, you gotta go unload it illegally in somebody's dumpster. Maybe at the Cici's that you talked good about yesterday. I don't know. Then, once we do that, we go to Home Depot. We buy everything. It's important to spend most all of your money, right? We want to get the entire store of Home Depot and put it in my truck, even though it's just F-150 halftime, okay? Then, after that, we're gonna take a lunch. Here's what you need to eat. Literal garbage, okay? You don't eat anything that's good for you. No broccoli, nothing green at all. You just like go to a garbage can and you eat that. You might as well be eating styrofoam and cardboard and just put an IV needle full of grease in there. This goes on till about midnight. Make sure to tell some dumb jokes in the middle. You gotta have your rest, okay? And laughter is the best medicine for your soul. And that's how you do it. And then look at this. Oh, look at that body. That's how you get it. Really, it took years of neglect to get a body like this. So hopefully this helps. I know a lot of you guys aren't gonna follow all my advice because, let's be honest, you have a brain. But for the ones of you that do, I'm sorry. I thought my sarcasm was painfully obvious. Oh, hey there. Nothing. So let's say that you're thinking, I want to have a beautiful big shower, but then you're like, I don't want to give up my old shower. But Judah, what's got to happen?
I already know.
You do already know. If you want your new life, you have to give up your old life. All of it. Which means that we got to smash everything. So your first step, if you're like, I want something to be beautiful, smash it! I know what you're thinking. Hulk tired of smashing. Hulk want a girlfriend. But anyway, we did have to smash. So we smashed all this. Take a look down here. And our plumber's about to come in here and cut these pipes. So we have to get the pipes down below the dirt where we get a good clean break on this for our plumber to hook them all up. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the center of the earth is about 4,000 miles down. So we went about a quarter that direction, and we haven't hit the liquid hot magma yet, but it is a deep hole here, and so
Pretty close.
it's real close. So what's the circumference of the world, do you know?
4,000 feet?
No, that's the radius. So
You're right. 4,000
it's
seconds.
not 4,000 feet, it's 4,000 miles.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's 8,000 miles is the diameter and 26,000 miles is the circumference. But how far is it to outer space?
3 seconds?
What?
You know, like 1, 2, and then another.
No, it's like 10,000 feet or something. It's like 5 miles. It's not that far up.
So like 3 rubber ducks.
Like 3 very large rubber ducks. So that's how far it is from here to outer space.
I knew it.
Yeah, so look that up. And remember, it's a small world after all, so be nice to people or else. Oh, hey there. So, several people ask me, because they want to do projects themselves, how does a pan liner work and how does this all work? Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is you get your drain piece in there, which we have. And then this is called a pan liner, right? Now, these come Home Depot. You can get it off the roll, but it's really inconvenient to get somebody to help you out. So they have 2 separate pieces, and we got the size that's oversized wide, but the right length. And so then we cut a lot of it off. So you don't have to go this high. This is how high our curb is going to be over here, which is 3 inches in this case. And as long as you're higher than that, everywhere else. Imagine that the purpose of a pan is in case something leaks behind here, that the whole thing could fill up with water until it's overflowing over here before it actually was a problem. Okay, so what we want to do then is we want a silicone underneath this, but I don't have any silicone in my hand right now. And then this tightens onto there, and then this screws into that, and you get the right height. Okay, so that's how that works. But it's pretty simple. You just tuck it up in there. Now, one of the challenges is pretending like you don't know how to wrap a present later, right? So this looks beautiful the way it's wrapped in there. But then later on, come birthday or Christmas time, I have to pretend like, me wrap a present, I'm a guy. How would I know how to do that? All right, so let's flip around here, Judah. We're going to take a look at this side. Over here, we've got a bench. Okay, so we had two separate pieces, like I said, and one piece comes up here, and then the other one comes overneath it. Is that how you say that word? Is it overneath?
No.
Underneath? No, but it's over it. Overneath would be the opposite of underneath.
Yeah, sure.
Don't agree with me if you think I'm wrong.
All right.
Just kidding. It goes over it, and then we come up here, same thing. So that is the purpose of a pan. Now, after that, we're going to put green rock on, and then we'll lay tile, and then we'll grout. So Russell Hastings, that's how it works. Now, I have a friend, a lot of you probably know him, and his name is Will, and he has amazing self-control. And I'm like, how do you have such self-control? And he told me, it's my willpower. Will.
My name's DJ Not Nice. Hee hee.
And he put my name on that. You ever wonder what your helper's doing and then he's doing something like that? I think it's creative. Okay, so as you can clearly tell, your next step, we got the pan in, right? And then we put green rock everywhere. And so look at this. Come on in, dude. We got little cubbies here. We got a cubby over there. We got a bench already made. Blah, 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 blah. Now, oh, that's so fancy. Now, maybe you're wondering, if I look for God with half of my heart, will I find him? Judah, what do you think?
Nope.
Judah says no. I don't know the answer because there's not something that says if you search for God with half your heart that you'll find him or will not find him. But there's something that says if you search for God with all your heart, then you will find him. So do that. If you're all like, boo-hoo, my life is so horrible, blah, 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 but you refuse to do anything about it, like take it seriously enough that it's worth the change, I'm sorry. But if you look for God, he's right there in front of you. Oh, what does my shirt say? Is this what you want to be doing when Jesus comes back? Working? It's probably what I will be doing, if we're being honest. I will probably be working when Jesus comes back. And he'll be like, I'll be like, sorry, I'm busy right now. He'll be like, but seriously. And I'm like, give me a minute. And he'll be like, and I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to be, you know, like, but chances are I will probably do something dumb when the time comes. So, love you guys. Okay, so come here. A lot of you guys probably haven't seen me actually pour the pan, and I'm sorry. It's usually because I'm busy. But here's what we do. We take this type N mortar, and it's mortar mix, so you can use this for bricks or whatever. But I found that it works really well. Some people use Portland, or you can use whatever. But it's very difficult to get the slope exactly right. And then later on, if you're like, man, I need to take just a little bit off, this is easy to take a little bit off, and it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, you just get like a floor scraper and just shake right off. So what we're trying to do here, I made a line all the way across. Now from your drain, okay, you got to have, the water's got to fall towards your drain, because otherwise it's going to puddle up and it's not going to drain. That's stupid. So how much drop do you need? The answer is a 1/4 inch drop per foot. So if you have 1 foot, then you drop a 1/4 inch. If you have 2 feet, you drop a 1/2 inch. If you have 4 feet, you drop 1 inch, and so on. So in this case, we had to drop about 1.25 inches. And so we measured to level, and then we raised up and made a line all the way around that's level, 1.25 inches higher. And so in some places it's slightly steeper, and in some places it's slightly more shallow towards the drain. But because it's a long pass in the middle, then we bellied it towards the middle so that it comes towards this direction. And that is how you get your floor. So I hope that helps you. Also, I just want to say that if you're not willing to change, don't expect your life to either. That's all I got. Okay there. So, I know what you're thinking. John, you haven't done anything today. That's typical. But the truth is I have done something. I just don't know what yet. But I'm thinking about it. So today, as many of you might know, is April Fool's Day. And you probably think to yourself, That's probably John's favorite holiday in the whole wide world because look at him, he's dumb as a rock. And that would be accurate. But I will not be celebrating April Fool's today because I know it's shocking for me too. Because here's the thing, the last couple of years has been such a horrible joke that I couldn't possibly top it. Plus it's like amateur hour, the alcoholics that are like, I'm not drinking tonight because it's New Year's Eve and everybody else, they're a bunch of idiots on the road. That's kind of how I feel about jokes today. Like, man, everybody's going to be expecting a joke. I'm like, that's not fun. It's not fun at all. But I do want to tell you about many years ago when I was still celebrating April Fool's because I guess I was, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I saw it coming up. I'm like, April Fool's. I have ideas. And, there was a lady that didn't necessarily care for me or my antics. She was like, I don't have time for your antics. I'm like, you need to manage your time better.
That's right.
So she had more time for my antics. Anyway, so I was like, I'm only working a half a day. I'm working from like 8 to noon and I was out of town in Florida or something like that doing a show. And I thought, I'll do my work in the morning and I got jokes and pranks for the rest of the day. Incorrect. I'm laying in bed in my hotel room. I got a call at 4:30. You have to come now because nobody else can do this part. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be right there. And so I show up like, all right, what's the problem? It's like, this is pretty simple. So I fix it. And they're like, thank you. Nobody else in the world could have done this but you. I'm like, that's great. Can I go back to bed now? Like, but now there's this other problem across the other side of the hotel. I'm like, fine. So I go fix that problem. By that time, it's time for my show from 8 to 12. I'm like, still not that bad. So I get done, and I'm like, now for pranks. And then they're like, as a matter of fact, we need you over here to do this thing and put out somebody else's fire. I'm like, really? They go, yeah. And as after that, there's an awards banquet tonight, and the PowerPoint guy can't figure out how to do the PowerPoint. I'm just like, let me guess. I'm the only one here that can do it. And they're like, yeah. So I do all the I make the slides. And then I was like, but you can do the show, right? And I still have time for my pranks. And they're like, we don't trust him anymore. We want you to do it. And so then I worked from like 4:30 in the morning till 1:30 in the morning. And at the end of the day, this lovely lady was like, I ruined your April Fool's. And she always had to look like this. But whenever she talked about this years later, she'd be like, I remember when I ruined your April Fool's. And she was so happy. Anyway, we did some time. So
what a wicked woman.
Well, no, she's in somewhere. Anyway, so we did some tile, but we still have some more tile to do. Take a quick pan around there, Jimmy. Take a look. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do tile out here too. Take a look.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna do this stuff right here. See that?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's gonna be. We got that straight from the honeycomb.
That is
and that's
beautiful.
gonna go on the floor.
That
here.
is beautiful.
Oh, now that is. Look at you.
Oh.
I didn't know that was a stud finder.
Whoa.
Oh, look at that. There's one. Oh,
There's two.
Oh, look at us. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go get some lunch. Love you guys. So beautiful, Jimmy.
Oh,
stop.